Hello YouTube, this is William. Got some blades in the oven, trying to keep an eye on it, and I got a crooked knife handle here I'm playing around with, but actually I'm just playing with this stainless steel. And keep testing it. And I tell you what, I am really liking this steel. I know it's not for everybody. It's been beat in our brain that gotta have carbon, which this is actually a high carbon stainless. It's so it just won't throw sparks from a rock. Now anything with a sharp spine will throw sparks from a ferro rod, so it has nothing to do with using a ferro rod. But anyway, I got the spine rounded on this knife. It which reminds me that I read an article from I believe it was Fiddleback Forge, explaining why they do not square the spines of their knives, and the reasoning that they gave was that a square spine is more brittle than a rounded spine. A rounded spine will take more impact. So that's the reason they don't round their spines. And really, most carving that we do, I mean, this is an exception, this is seasoned wood, but most of the carving that we do is in green wood. It's so as far as rounding corners and scraping it, you can actually use the edge of the knife, and you could do the same thing as the spine, and that way you can keep your spines rounded for those push cuts like that, and you don't have to wear bandages and stuff on your thumb because the spine is cutting into your thumb. It's more comfortable. So it's something to think about. I mean, it just depends on what you get used to, I guess. But if you'll watch the old timers cutting, they're always using push cuts on the spine of their knives. And if you watch them, they'll scrape with the edge. They'll say, "Well, you can't do that. The edge it'll be all messed up. You can't do that." Well, if that messes your edge up, you may want to go knife shopping, because that should not mess your edge up, just scraping some green wood. Now, if you wanted to, I wouldn't use it on a ferro rod. That would certainly mess your edge up, but scraping it on green wood, just smoothing it out. And actually, the old timers, they used to get a piece of glass, and I mean, the problem is glass is just so prevalent everywhere. But now when I'm doing that, if you notice, if it did slip, it would get in my hand. But I'm holding the blade down with these hands. So, and two, I'm not putting that much pressure on the knife. I'm just letting the blade cut, and I got a stop cut right there. So these fingers are holding the blade down, and I got a stop cut there. So there's always a block, however you're cutting and using a knife. The old fallacy that you should never cut toward yourself, I mean, that's just a general statement, but doesn't always hold true. It goes back to my saying that if you control the blade, you are not going to willingly cut yourself. So you use safety measures as far as stops. When you're drawing things to you, you have your arm, your wrist is blocking you at your stomach, and again, you're using a very sharp knife, so that you're not having to force the knife to cut. The knife just cuts on its own. So just some few little safety tips while I'm letting my blades reach temperature here. They're soaking right now in the heat. But again, if you watch the old timers, like the old Swedish movies and everything, you watch them. They're always guiding the knife blade with both hands most of the time. Very seldom do you see somebody doing a power cut, because you have less control of that blade when you're doing a power cut. Now, if you do push cuts, then you can control the blade, because you always have a hand near where you're cutting. So anyway, I thought maybe I'd just give those little tidbits, and while I was doing this, I'm about to the right but you just have to get out and use a knife. I mean, I keep saying that, but that's the key to everything. I mean, that's the key to your job. Whatever you do, you have to, the more you do that job, the better you get at it. It's the same thing with using a knife. The more you use a knife, the better you are at it. I see a lot of people when they're using a knife, and to be honest with you, it looks like it's a foreign object in their hand. But if you watch somebody that's experienced in using a knife, it looks as if it was meant to be there. It just looks like an extension of their hand, like a sixth finger, if you will. So that's what you're after, is that feeling that the knife belongs there, that it's not a foreign object. It's comfortable there. It's been there before, and that just comes with use. And you don't have to be outside. I mean, you can spread a sheet or a towel or something on the floor and catch the shavings and whittle away. Now the missus may kind of look at you sideways, but hey, that won't be the first time, would it? And she may join you. She may get into the whittling bug too. Become a family affair. Is everybody sitting around the living room with sheets spread all over the floor, whittling on a stick? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed these little tidbits, little tips, little whittle talk tip. And until the next one, you guys spread the sheet on the floor and do a little whittling, little family time. And if you do, keep those band-aids handy and plenty of knives. We'll catch you again soon.